Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Battlefield 4 News, and the news is coming thick and fast. Today we have LevelCap's response to being paid by EA, we have an update coming for Battlefield 4 on client and server on all platforms, and we have a survey for what changes we'd like in Battlefield. So let's take a look at LevelCap's point of view on being paid by EA, and that's his words. And it gets interesting from the very first paragraph. I am writing this response because somebody needs to say something on the YouTuber's behalf about what happened, is happening with the situation regarding YouTubers getting paid to make videos of Battlefield and other games. This is not an apology. Okay, so he's coming out fighting, it would seem. Now, I'm not going to get into anything that could be construed as legal arguments over this statement. What I am going to do is compare this written statement that LevelCap's put out with the agreement that we have a copy of, because there are some inconsistencies. So let's have a look at the second paragraph. Most of the recent articles I have read regarding this subject talks about EA buying positive reviews and asking us to lie to our fan base about the state of Battlefield 4. Nothing could be further from the truth, and unfortunately these articles have been written to grab attention, so have dishonestly portrayed this situation as a scandal. Okay, right, so if we look at that statement, there are two words in there that he should not have used. First one is dishonestly, and second one is scandal. I can't believe he actually put that, because if you look at most of the articles, all they do is quote the agreement he signed. Now it's true, technically EA didn't buy a positive review of the game, but what they did say is you couldn't do a negative one focusing on the glitches in the game either. So that's 50-50, I would say. So then he talks about his credibility and integrity as a YouTuber, which is odd in a written statement on Reddit when he hasn't made a video about it on YouTube. I wonder why. Is it because Reddit threads have a habit of disappearing after a while, but a video on your YouTube channel would stay there forever? Who can say? At no point was I asked to lie or falsify my opinion of a game. But you were asked not to do videos focusing on the glitches in the game. That's bugs, major problems, you know, the things the game was riddled with. What has been misconstrued to the public in recent articles is that Ronku did ask people not to post footage of bugs in the pre-release alpha version of the game, the copy of BF4 that I played at EA events. Predating my coverage of flaws was a build of the game that was far from finished, so yes, of course it had bugs. There's a problem with that paragraph, and the problem is the dates that the agreement they made with EA covered. As you can see, this agreement covers videos posted between October the 29th and November the 10th. And if you're wondering why October the 29th sounds so familiar, it's the date that Battlefield 4 was launched in North America. Okay, it came a bit later in the rest of the world. In Europe we got it on the 1st of November, but this covers videos when the game is live. The official release is out and they're playing it. So I can't see the relevance of anything on this page at all. At this point he has the same copy of Battlefield as everybody else has got, and it didn't take most of us until November the 10th to realise that the game was buggy. And in fact the agreement covered him till November the 29th, so that meant he couldn't do videos on the glitches of the game until November the 29th. Now in the second paragraph here he talks about other Ronku agreements he's been part of and backed out of, and lots of other offers he's got to cover games, and that YouTubers are not money grubbing sellouts. And while I have no problem with him looking at other games, I have no problems with them being paid to promote other games. What I do think is wrong is him being paid to cover Battlefield 4 and then not being able to talk about the problems with it. That has got to be, you know, a real contradiction for his channel. His channel is known for talking about Battlefield 4, and he was, even if he doesn't admit it, gagged to stop him talking about the problems. So let's take a look at the start of his last paragraph. Everything that I say in my Battlefield videos is genuine. No opinions are bought, and thus I did not feel the need to disclose that I was being paid by EA to say what I want. That being said, my knowledge of the law and FTC guidelines is not extensive. Now this is where I feel some sympathy for LevelCap. He's not a media personality, he's a YouTuber, and he doesn't have a team backing him up. So yes, he didn't know what the FTC guidelines were, and that is probably EA's fault. Now, should he have disclosed it anyway? I think he should. Okay, the trips to EA events, that's pretty obvious they were being paid for, and they did state it. But a coverage of his videos on YouTube? Yeah, that really should have been pointed out. Now, he doesn't feel his opinions were bought and therefore he didn't need to disclose it. That's not a decision he can make. You know, the FTC guidelines, okay, they're only guidelines, but they're there for a reason. If he had just said, you know, that these were an EA promotion, all this would have been avoided. So yes, I feel sorry for him, but as we remember, in his very first paragraph he said, this is not an apology. It really should have been. In my opinion, he should just have come out and apologised and said, I'm a YouTuber, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. And people would have accepted that, but instead he decided that he was going to come out and attack the people reporting the situation and basically do the opposite, not apologise, but say he would publish it in future because people were moaning about it. Right, on to more positive things, and there's been an announcement that we're going to get some new updates. This is being announced all over Twitter and Reddit and Facebook, and the details are on the forums. So let's have a look at the details. Upcoming game update. We are aiming to get a new update live for all platforms at the end of January, beginning of February. Timing might change, as always. This update will include a number of stability improvements, tweaks and fixes. We will get back to you with change notes as the update goes live. So that sounds quite promising. Upcoming gameplay balancing. We are actively looking for your feedback on a couple of core gameplay balancing items. I'll link this later on. Head to this Battlefield blog post, blogs.battlefield.com, to make your voice heard. In the upcoming weeks, we will also share a large number of balancing tweaks that we are making to Battlefield 4 in future updates, including changes to DMR performance, anti-air and more. So there's been a lot of talk on Twitter and on forums about what these balancing tweaks are, and there's a survey you can go and fill in, which I will show you in a moment. BF4 multiplayer experience. We are looking to improve a number of items to further enhance the overall multiplayer experience. We will share more details on this in February. In the meantime, thanks for your feedback on items that you have helped us identify. Please God, let this be the netcode. Their game update post mentions the survey, so let's have a look at that. So it would seem that this is for the next range of updates. They've already got a bunch of updates planned for balancing, which is the DMRs and the anti-tanks and the impact grenades and the mini grenades, and there's a whole list of balances that are coming. This survey is looking at the balance patch after that, so let's see what items they are considering. So the first of these is attack boat air defense. Now this I found surprising because the attack boat is pretty much a beast, and even with the burst cannon setup as it is now, you can mince an aircraft if you catch it coming. If you don't see it coming, it will mince you. Aircraft are the attack boat's main vulnerability, and removing it seems like just making the attack boat more powerful. The next is increasing the FGM-148's damage against tanks. If you don't know what the FGM-148 is, it's the poor old Javelin. You know, the missile that used to get used a lot in Battlefield 3, but has now been replaced by the SRAW, which doesn't have a lock-on range. So yeah, Javelins. It could do with a damage boost, but the SRAW is still going to be king for the missiles. Maybe if the SRAW didn't do lock-on as well, people would use javelins? I don't know. Stealth jet cannon tweaks. I have no idea about this one, I don't fly jets. I voted yes because I've been told that the 20mm cannons are overpowered and that the others are underpowered, so I just went on other people's opinion. This is a change that would make sense to me, fast attack craft cannon tweaks, and that is reducing the splash damage of the burst cannon, but make it better at hitting aircraft. That seems to make a lot of sense because the fast attack craft can just chew up infantry pretty easily, but it should be designed for taking on vehicles. This one I thought was quite funny. Main battle tank and infantry fighting vehicle canister shell buff. Canister shells on main battle tanks and infantry fighting vehicles seem less popular than Battlefield 3. You mean Battlefield 3 where they were broken and you could fast swap to canister shell and fire your main cannon like some kind of machine gun? Yeah, that's why they're less popular. But I think DICE are going about this the right way. If you look at the forums, you'll see people saying, "Oh, aircraft are overpowered, my fast attack boat always dies to them." And you'll also see people going, "Oh, fast attack boats are overpowered, they always kill me as infantry." And you'll get aircraft pilots going, "Oh, mobile AA is overpowered, they're always killing me." What you see on the forums is the people who are dying complaining. If I was on the forums more, every gun in the game would be overpowered, apart from the one I was carrying, because it was every other gun in the game that killed me. So doing this as a nice survey that's open to everyone is a much better idea than just looking at the forums. You may notice that this video has been re-uploaded. That's because YouTube objected to the monetisation without reason and didn't give me a chance to explain the content. So I've re-edited it to see if that will get passed, but I'll go into it in a vlog. Thanks for watching.